Now at 5, making changes to an abortion ban bill.
The differences you'll now see between the original version and what passed today during the special session.
Day 2 of the special session at the State House, anti-abortion advocates made their message loud and clear, asking lawmakers to do more to protect the unborn.
Indiana has more tax money in the bank than it needs, so where should that money go and how much should you get back? What lawmakers decided today.
Umbrella weather continues the next couple of days. We'll also focus on the threat for a few severe storms.
And heading back to school.
That's right. We're going to tell you about the 2 districts where you might need to make some alternate plans when it comes to before and after school care.
We have breaking news tonight at 5 as lawmakers vote to make changes to the state's proposed abortion ban bill.
It comes as protesters return to the Indiana State House for a second straight day. Check out the scene today. And we can't forget that abortion isn't the only topic that lawmakers are debating during this special session. We've got live team coverage tonight as our Dustin Grove looks at the debate that surrounds inflation relief.
And we begin with Rich Nye and Sierra Putman. They've got a look at the debate surrounding the abortion ban and the new amendments to the bill. Sierra, the committee advanced this bill in a proposal lawmakers admit that no one seems to like.
You know, today was a much calmer day. People on the side that believe that there should be abortion access in this state would call it a somber day. This bill did advance, and it advanced with more limitations for victims of rape and incest who would want to seek an abortion. Now, today started with testimony from a variety of different people. Based on our count, about 60 people actually got to testify. One woman had to be escorted out of the chamber when testimony was stopped just before 11:30 this morning, halted so the committee could amend the bill. The committee approved a change requiring a timeline for victims of rape and incest to receive an abortion. 8 weeks for people 16 and older, 12 weeks for younger people. Democrats called the limits arbitrary because both time limits are before viability outside of the mother. The committee also approved the change to make sure any affidavit a person signs stating they were pregnant due to rape or incest be put in that patient's permanent medical record. This is an exchange between 2 of the lawmakers on this committee.
You want them to not only have to be at 12 weeks to tell somebody, but now you want them, when they tell somebody, to sign an affidavit to make sure that they're not lying.
We want to establish that they are speaking the truth and they're saying that this is what occurred. To attach their medical records, and that's where it remains. It's confidential.
Now, I asked Senator Sue Gleck for clarification. She was the one that you heard speaking there, asking her what type of penalty she thinks a person who lies about being raped or the victim of incest should face. And she told me, quote, "I think that's a question and an answer for another day." Now we're going to take it over to Rich Nye, who was outside of the chamber today. Rich, you were covering the protests that we could actually hear inside.
Yeah, last night, Sierra, right where you were standing, abortion rights advocates were chanting loudly as that Senate committee heard the abortion bill. Abortion rights advocates held a rally. They filled the State House and surrounded the State House. That was on Monday. Today, anti-abortion advocates held their own rally and turned out in full force. Anti-abortion advocates chanted just outside the Senate chambers this morning. They are asking the Republican-controlled legislature to pass stronger abortion restrictions. And then a huge crowd filled the north atrium of the State House for an Indiana Right to Life rally they called Love Them Both.
The same God that overturned slavery has overturned Roe versus Wade. The same God that overturned Roe versus Wade is going to continue to cause Indiana to be a shining light for the rest of the country to see that we stand for life. We love them both. We love the mother. We love the baby. We go even further than that. We love those who hate us, and we bless those who curse us, because love never fails.
That rally lasted about 30 minutes. By early afternoon, the bill had passed out of committee, and most of the anti-abortion advocates had left the State House. So it will be very interesting to see in the coming days, now that this is primarily in the hand of lawmakers, public testimony is over for this week in the Senate, how much of a crowd we see on both sides back here at the State House.
All right, Rich, thanks so much. Also this afternoon, public testimony for Senate Bill 2. This is the bill that covers increased funding to the Department of Child Services, the Family and Social Service Agency programs, families, and people that are expecting children. If an abortion ban becomes law, the testimony ranged in support to specific parts of the bill and increasing funding beyond what is in the original proposal. We have put together a comprehensive look at the debate, the protests, and revisions to the bill, all for you right now online at WTHR.com.
So also today, lawmakers took action on inflationary relief for Hoosiers. A tax refund check is one step closer to your bank account, but it's not a done deal just yet. Dustin Grove is following that part of the special session for us. Dustin, can you tell us what happened today?
More than 3 hours of debate and discussion here in the House chamber. Felicia, a lot of talk about where that extra money should go. It's coming from the state's $6.1 billion budget surplus, and pretty much every lawmaker agrees that's more money in the bank than the state needs. The question has been exactly what to do with it. Governor Holcomb and House Republicans want to send another round of automatic tax refund checks to Hoosiers. This would be $225 per person, but some Democrats questioned today why the money isn't also going elsewhere, like addressing the state's crippling teacher shortage or streets and roads and mental health. Representative Ed Delaney of Indianapolis asked if repeated tax refunds were a device to, quote, avoid investing in programs.
Is that what we're doing here? We're choosing between dribbling out money and making long-term investments in our schools and the possibility of things like passenger rail or lower tuition. Is that the choice we're making? We'll dribble it out rather than have an investment strategy.
What about that?
Well, look, I think, first of all, we're making investments. We've made investments in our current budget. We're investing in infrastructure, #1 infrastructure plan in the country. We're investing in education. But these are extra dollars the state is taking in. We want to return it back to Hoosiers. It's their money. We want to get back into their hands.
Another part of this bill would eliminate the sales tax on diapers. The author of the bill said that's just another way to help out families during this difficult time. After about 3 hours, the House Ways and Means Committee passed it, which means it's now making its way through the full House of Representatives. Now, as for that $225 tax refund check, how much will it cost the state to actually do that, to give that money back to you? We'll have that part of the story and why the state says it needs your help coming up at 6 o'clock. Felicia?